So this paper belongs to a broader research agenda I'm working on, where I try to understand and measure the market power of employers in low and middle income countries. So if we compare the labor markets in low and middle income countries with those of high income countries, there are a few things that stand out. In poor countries, we typically see in the average local labor market, we typically only observe a small number of organizations that are hiring workers. And at the same time, a lot of workers decide to pursue self-employment precisely because wages are low or wages opportunities are scarce. And this is important because historically, when we think about sustained economic growth, what we have seen in those countries that are now high-income countries, the creation of salaried jobs, of good and stable jobs, was one of the hallmarks of this process. And for this reason, policymakers, they implement policies whose objective is precisely to expand the wage employment sector and expand the number of jobs available. So in this paper, we try to understand whether self-employment on the one hand and its interactions with the market power of employers on the other hand matter for these facts that I explained at the beginning, and also for the effectiveness of these kind of policies that want to promote the creation of jobs. So in the paper, we show a number of facts in line with what I said at the beginning. And then we build this model where we model labor market power as arising from, on the one hand, hiring organizations and employers that compete strategically for workers. And on the other hand, from the fact that workers actively sort between working for a wage and being self-employed. And the model has a number of both theoretical and empirical implications, but most importantly, what we do is to estimate it and then simulate within the model different policies that are similar to what we see implemented in the field, to see whether incorporating these other channels, like the sorting of workers between wage work and self-employment, can explain what is effective, what is not effective, and why. And what we find is that among different policies, the ones that seem to be more successful in expanding wage employment and increasing earnings are the ones that increase firm productivity, rather than, for instance, policies that train workers, which have been the focus of some studies in the past.